based in New South Wales, Australia. I'm just checking a few things in whilst we all get a bit sorted, and yeah, we get on started. I'm a bit later today. I did give those people that are my regulars the heads up, so I'm sorry if you missed it. I had to pick a kitty up from work. I was about to say school, but it definitely isn't school. So we are looking today at playing with the Sending Cheer bundle. Now, when I say bundle, you will notice today that it's actually cheaper to purchase it today because it's gone into the last chance. Now, there is a list of last chance products. The Sending Cheer, the stamp set has gone down from $42, decreased by 40%. It's down to $20.20 in Australia. And the dies have gone down from $61 and they've gone down to $36.60. So it's actually cheaper to buy these items separately now. So just be aware of that if you're looking to go shopping. So you can grab some really great bargains. So let's show you what this beauty is. Now, I'm hoping that the glare is not too bad. I've tweaked a few things. I've tweaked the position that I'm sitting in. I've tweaked where things are getting shared to, in the hope that that will actually decrease the issues that we had last week. So we'll see how we go. Okay, so this is the Sending Cheer bundle. I'm going to, whoa, what happened there? Okay, I am going to continue to call it a bundle because that's actually what I'm used to. So this is the bundle, but we're going to, if we're purchasing it these days, we're purchasing it as two separate items. Just remember that. And the reason being is that you'll save more than 10% currently because of the sale. All right, so with the set is a stamp set that comes with the dies. You'll see the dies are down here, and I've got them all hiding underneath me on the bench here. So you'll get a few samples in our catalogue. We've got some samples of little gifts. We've got a Santa hat sample, a little card, that sort of stuff. This one here is just a regular little card. We're going to see, they've actually done some embossing on that one, but we'll see how we go. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do yet. Hi, Chris. How are you going? Hopefully it's not too fuzzy today. I've tried to tweak some things. Okay, you'll also get a sample here. Oh, I'm just going to do this in-out business. You'll get a sample here in the back, and I really like how they've done this. Some of those stockings are actually raised so that you can actually, I don't know, just to give them a bit of depth. And I'm thinking that's the direction that I'm going to go with today's card. I'm glad it's looking much clearer today. I have done some changing. So I was just telling everyone it's cheaper to, these days you've got to check. Oh, I better move that out of the way. We've got to check because of the sale, we've got to keep our eye on that, because some things that were cheaper as a bundle before are no longer cheaper as a bundle. You need to get them separately. So I do have some things behind me because I have changed up my room. And let's get some stamps on some blocks. I'm going to go with the stockings. What do you reckon? So you can probably be on a smaller block actually. Is it going to fit on there? Yeah. So the stocking will fit on block C. You'd need your block D for the envelope. But we're not going to use the envelope. We're going to use, this one here can go on. This one here is block B. That's the top of our stocking. So essentially we're going to case the catalogue, because the catalogue's got some great ideas in it. And we're going to case the catalogue with this one, okay? And we'll have a play and we'll see how we go, okay? There's a few little things that are there texturally that I thought, okay, that might work. So that's our two stamps. I really, really like. Did I bring enough of these? No. Hopefully I've got one here. Nope, I didn't. That's all right. I really like the little holly stamp in here. Oh, here's one. Got to make sure you line it up on that stamp because it doesn't necessarily fit. Okay. So we'll have Sending Cheer. Yeah, we might as well use the sending cheer that they've used. That sounds like a plan. There are, oh, I had, you know what? Let's team it up with another great stamp set. Hi, Sharon. This week I can see everyone. I've ditched Twitter. So I also love this one. More wishes. Let me just have a quick sticky for you. I didn't put them in alphabetical order. I probably should have. But I'm not sure if more wishes is on our magic list. There is a better way I could have done this, but so actually I'll go and do that. What I was going to do. More wishes is another Christmas stamp set, and I'm not sure if it's on the, because I didn't check it. I've got great plans to go through my catalogue and mark things in it, but it's just a matter of taking the time. Anyone want to let me know? Is it on the retiring list? Or you can search just by name these days. Oh, it's not retiring, so I'm wondering if it's going to make its way into the new catalogue or if it's just going to stay. Oh, that's a bit exciting. I do love this stamp set. I do love things that have got nice, great big font. So we may use this, we may not, but we'll see. Okay. I've got a few things aside of a mess in front of me. I do have a few things in front of me. It's a photopolymer stamp set, so we do need our mat, which I did have here. And it's, oh, I was going to say it developed some legs, but it hasn't. It was sitting underneath some things. Okay. This is our sending cheer dies. Oops, they've stuck. I hate that. Make some funny noises. So we're going to need this guy. I need this. And where's my berries? Where's the berries? Can anyone see the berries? Have they developed some legs? Okay. There is supposed to be a berries die in. Oh, there it is. I couldn't see for looking. Now I can't get it off. Oh boy. And we need these pieces of the stockings. They're stuck together, which is great because then I can't lose them. And let's have this piece here for some of our stockings as well. No, oh, yep, maybe. We'll see. And this piece here. All right, let's give that a whirl. That's a good place to start, isn't it? I'll put these ones back to the side. All right. I've got some real red cardstock. I know it's looking really super bright on my screen, so I can only begin to imagine what it looks like on yours. It's actually real red. I've just got the window, the lights coming in off the window quite beautifully there. An envelope. And I've actually got my box of scraps sitting here beside me on my chair so that I've got some extra colours. Okay. I mean, I've got a huge table here, but, you know, I've got some extra colours here as well. So I've got quite a few little things happening so that we can get this working for us. So I'm standing up to craft, I think, this time so that I can just grab stuff at my disposal as I need it. Let's put these in here. I don't know what I've done with my little magnetic thingamy. I did take it away with me and I don't think I've unpacked that bit, so I'll just put those to the side. I've got my envelope and my card base, but I don't have my basic white cut up. So the ladies that come to my class will know I cut basic white up for them, and if they're interested, I do it as card packs so that they get more or less a quarter of a pack of the basic white ready for their cards, so that way they don't have to do any cutting. So 10 by 14.4. I'm going to do this one for the front of my card. And this one here is going to be the middle. So we'll do it for, I'm going to make it match the front of my card. So we'll do it 10 by 14.4 as well. Why am I pulling my blade down to cut? I just find it easier. And this is the bit we're going to cut our dies out of. So I'm just going to cut it in half just to make it a bit more easy for me to manipulate whilst I'm doing it. Okay, so that's for me to stamp on. These are the bits that I've got as my card base, card front, card inner, and envelope. All right, so let's have a play and we'll see what we can do here. Okay. Hi Cheryl, how are you going? Right. So we'll just fold our card in half. It's great weather for card making today. We are making another Christmas card. I am so far behind on my Christmas cards, but I need so many more Christmas cards, but that's okay. Making another Christmas card with some Christmas stockings. Okay. I do have some designer series paper here. I've just noticed that probably need to replace my blade because my white is a bit fuzzy and I'm not sure if you can see that. Okay. So this is just, it's an old Jamberry nail file, but just if you have a rough one, you can just get some of the fluffiness off. It's quite coarse. And then I just run along, but I will replace that blade. Okay, and I find that my basic white really chews the paper. Okay, so we've got a couple of different things that we can do with this. We can stamp on it, we can emboss it, we can do all of those sorts of things. We can stamp and we can emboss, we can have lots of fun. So what we'll do first of all is let's cut out some stockings. I'll put them together so that I don't lose them. Okay, and our card in the sample in the catalogue has got, essentially it's got 4 Christmas stockings on it. It's got some in red and some in green. Okay, so I've pulled over some real red and I've pulled over some shaded spruce. I should have grabbed the old olive because that's what they've used to do their holly leaves if I'm copying, but you know what, I think we can make do. So let's make some stockings. Now you'll notice that when you're stamping your stocking, just be aware that there is the bit at the top. Yes, you are very spoiled, I know, except for retreat, but then you spoil it in other ways. There is the bit at the top, so when you're stamping, make sure you've left some room for that. All right, you don't want to stamp your stocking up here because then when you go to cut it out, you're going to cut the top off, and we'd actually need that. So I'd probably be inclined to suggest that we stamp our stockings. Oh, I'm thinking that this might be a bit dry, this ink pad, but we'll see how we go. I have been using it a fair bit. Stamp our stockings down closer to the bottom, so that way there's plenty of room up the top for the bit that hangs on when you're hanging it near the chimney. Okay. All right. Let's give that a clean. Okay. And we'll do some basic real red one. Hopefully it's nice and juicy. Yes. And there's a mark on there. I wonder what that is. Oh, it's fluff. Now I've got pink on my finger. See? Okay. I'll cut these 3 out because I need to realise I need to know what I'm working with that I've got left. Okay. All right. So that little bit that's there's a couple of there's like a little, I don't know, scratch where the fluff was. What you can do with that is if you've got a marker, you can put some color on it, or if you've got a blending pen, you can use it to blend some of the ink in, and we can go with it that way. Okay. All right, so we've got to cut these out. We need to cut out some shaded spruce out of our scraps. That's some real red, but I don't think I want it. Oh, I probably do, but you know, we'll see. That bit was had other stuff on it. So I'm just looking through my scrap box. So I don't throw, it has to be fairly tiny for me to throw it away. Do I have any basic? I'm just having a wrap through. There's lots of things in here. There's lots of really old stuff in here. There's lots of not so old stuff. Here's a piece of red. So we'll have some of that. We'll have some of that. Okay. And the other thing we've got to cut out is we've got to cut out some holly. So let's see. I'll just use this piece because I don't know what I don't know where I need the other piece. So I'll do another stocking while I'm here in the red. I would have been better off doing them down both ends. Two berries, one set of berries, and there's 3 of them. Let's do, I'm not sure that I'm going to like this, but we'll give us a whirl. Let's do our holly leaves in granny apple green. Maybe that'll work. I think it'll work. What do you reckon? Sometimes you can just make things and hope for the best, and then if they don't work, then change them up. I have been known to do that quite frequently, and it's a matter of just trying. It's only paper. There's always 2 sides to every piece of paper. You don't need to only use the one side. Oh, sorry, excuse me. We can use, with our stocking, there's we've got a bit of variety that we can do. So I'm actually thinking, let's do some that are like this. I might go along here. Now, you'll notice, I've just noticed this is a bit blotchy. If when your stamp's new, it's a little bit blotchy. If you give it a bit of a scrape on your paper, on your scratch paper, you'll find the ink sticks to it way better, and you get to stamp a heaps better image. See how it's more solid now? All right, that one was a little bit scratchy. Okay. I mean, I have used this stamp before, but I'm just saying it's just one of the ways that I find if my stamp doesn't want to let the ink sit on it, especially when they're new, that's when I notice that works to my advantage. So what else do we want to cut up? I'm going to cut up some of those. While we've got I should have stamped everything else while we've got them out, but that's okay. We're just playing at the minute because I'm not sure what we're going to end up with, but I need to get rid of this so that I can do some cutting. Okay. Right. Now, one of the best things about this table that I'm using currently is it's my dining room table, and you can see it doesn't wobble like the other table used to wobble. The other table used to wobble so badly. So, but this one doesn't seem to. Okay, so we need to cut out all of our stockings. I haven't cut any out before. I was not prepared in that respect for stockings. So I'm afraid you have to watch me cut out all of our stockings. Okay, so there's one. Usually when I go this way, this is the way I stuff it up. But we'll see how we go. Like I said before, there's more there. You've got you've always got more paper, or I do here anyway. There's always more paper. You can always stamp it again, but it's not too bad. And we've got the red one. There's something about the traditional colours of red and green at Christmas. I do like them. And they go nicely with both silver and gold. So I've bought my duo ribbon over again. I think, was it last week we played with that ribbon? Okay, so I've done those ones. Moving on to these. Okay. Oh, it's very crooked. Should be doing it in front of me. Yeah, okay. I don't have one that cuts that piece out. All right. But I do have one that cuts these guys out. Now, because they're all the way up there, the chances of me stuffing them up are greater than average. But, and that is really sticking to my fingers. I think my berries are going to be dodgy because they're all the way over there. So we'll see how we go. Cross everything that those berries and those leaves are right. I can tell you now they're not. The berries are bad. The berries are really bad. Look at that. I could probably get away with the leaves, but you know what? We don't have to. There's more paper. So we'll just put this to the side. The side being the table behind me. And we'll stamp more berries and more. Yeah. Okay, well that didn't work to my advantage. I've got some other things to cut out. So yeah, they're bad. But that's all right. We'll add some other things to the. We'll do them again. Okay. 3 little berries. I didn't put my mat underneath here. And what did I do with that stamp? There it is there. Okay. And some holly. All right. Now I want to cut out that. I've got some other things to cut out, so that's okay. So what we'll do is I'll bring that back and we'll try and cut without getting crooked. That's what happens when we rush. Okay. So we'll send this one through first. I'll have one of those. I'll have some not so dodgy holly leaves and some berries. We'll try again, okay? Everybody cross everything that I get it right this time. All right. Okay. Oh, that's heaps better. Okay. Yep, they're good. And again, look at this. I'll put it up there. Can you see that? It's got texture. How cool is that? So it's like white and fluffy. All right. I actually really, really like it. So let's have another one of it. And of this one, turn that one around there so I can fit more than one thing in at a time if I want. We are going to do some of these guys. Okay. I can hear a kid sneaking around in the kitchen. I so want to tell her to empty the dishwasher. No. But I knew what the answer was going to be to that. We all did, didn't we? So see how it cuts both, oh, probably can't see it. Cuts both of those little stocking pieces out at the same time. Okay. I'll have some more of those. Got 2 of those. I'm just looking around the table at the same time, wondering where my Wink Stella is. Oh, sometimes if they don't come out, you'll see they've got little holes in them. That's so that you can take your pick tool through it, and you can pick them out. Okay, go back in there. We'll have some green ones. You could do some white ones. You could do some blue, whatever colours float your boat. And that's one thing I've noticed when with my mats, mats being so marked, aside of the fact that if you send foil through them, it wrecks them. With my mats being so damaged, that the paper sticks to them when you're sending it through. Oh, this time it didn't. This time it got stuck in the little thing. Okay, so we'll just send them out. I've just done 4. We'll see how we go. I'll put this one behind me. Okay, so for those people watching, this is a Sending Cheer bundle. It's a set that's got a photopolymer stamp set and it's a photopolymer stamp set and a matching set of dies. All right. The beauty about this at the moment, it's actually cheaper to buy it. I just noticed that was crooked. It's cheaper to buy it as separate pieces because they're both pieces are 40% off. So I'm thinking that we'll push this here. And then we're going to do similar to what they've done in the catalogue. Okay. These little pieces are actually the bits that go on the back end of our dies. Ooh. And then if you look at that, oh, I do like that. Now that will make this very plain. Yeah. I know, 40% off is the best way to do it. And you can make some really great, fabulous birthday cards with this set as well. I'm actually thinking that this piece here, I reckon that needs something. Do you reckon it needs to be embossed? What do you think? What's the general consensus? Does everybody think it needs to be embossed? Yeah. Didn't ask those in the kitchen. All right. Those in the kitchen that are supposed to not be paying any attention to me whatsoever. Okay. Oh, I need another one of these. But what colour are we going to do it in? I haven't decided. Maybe. Yeah, not sure. Okay. So essentially that's going to be my set though. Okay. I need one more. All right, we'll just pop 7 off. I'm thinking this needs to be embossed. Yep. I agree with Sharon. Let's emboss it. So I'm going to grab an embossing folder. Hopefully my embossing folder is where I believe it should be. It's not. Okay, so my embossing folder is, I have choice. There's two that I really like, and they're really hard to see because of what they are. So this one here is the one I think we need to use, but it's not going to fit as well as I like. The words that I like the best are going in the wrong direction. All right. Or we have this one, and if you look at the little starry sort of pattern on it, can you see it actually matches the little stars on our stockings? So I do like it. This is from the set that's part of the online exclusives. It's a trio of them, and they're the 3D ones. This is one of our regular embossing folders. You can tell the difference. Oh, it's a bit hard to see. See how the difference in the thickness of them? Okay. If you've got the current cut and emboss, this one needs to go through with the grey matte. If you've got the older Big Shot, this one needs to go through with the blue matte. Okay. So I'm thinking, you know what? I'm going to give the words a whirl because we can. I'm going to I'm going to cover up those ones that aren't really in the direction I want. All right. Your cut and emboss machine tells you what you need to do. So because we're using an embossing folder, we're actually ditching plate number 2. Okay, so we'll have number 1, number 3 twice. Okay, plus our embossing folder. Now, with the embossing folder, the Stampin' Up is on the correct side of where your raised piece comes up. If you want a deboss side, you turn it over. Okay, so debossing cookies is all the current rage. So for those people that like that deboss look, you have to turn it over. Now, when you're talking about words, though, your debossing doesn't work. Okay, and I'll show you why. All right, just put those to the side. If you're talking about words and with your debossing, so that's embossing when the words are raised or the image is raised, and that's debossing. But with words, as you can see, they're all back to front, so it doesn't work. So if you want a deboss side, then you actually have to use something that doesn't have font on it or that doesn't have letters. It needs to be a little bit forgiving with its direction. Okay, so I'm thinking it's going to have to go this way. Now, I do have, let's vintage this up a bit. Okay, so looks beautiful, will be a beautiful card, will work just perfectly if we don't, but I have had a tendency in the past to like vintaging things up, and I used to use beautiful soft suede. There's a couple of colors I used to use in general, but I've found that Pecan Pie and Early Espresso are doing the same thing for me. So we'd use Dauber, or we can use our blending brushes. We've also got the small blending brushes, but I'm finding the big ones will do the same thing for me. So, but you do have to rub it off a little bit on the side. So you can do the same thing that you could do with the Dauber, which is just run it along the edge. Just be aware that you probably will get more ink than you would have with the Dauber. I have a tendency to hold it up. Some people like to do it with it on the edge so they can do it on their paper. But I have a tendency to like holding it up. I think it's just come from doing it with the Daubers. Okay. It's up to you how much ink you put on it. Just be aware you can always put more on. You can't take it away. So less is best initially. All right. And if you go back in, make sure you come back and ditch it again. Now, because I've done this with one piece, there's that little gingerbread. Because I've done that with this one piece, I'm going to actually want to come in and I'm going to want to do it with all my pieces just to keep it consistent. All right, so that even means my base. Okay, we're not going to get to see much of our base, but if you just do a little bit of this in the corners, maybe a bit in the middle, it just gives it some of that, I don't know, it provides like a highlighter to it. And it's really not that going to be that easy for you guys to see that on here. The ladies that come on the weekend will be able to see it. If you want, ladies, I can even cut up a kit for you for this one on for the weekend. But what I'm going to do is I'm also going to do it to all of these pieces. So again, just give it a bit of a light go around. Okay. Just to rough them up a bit. Should have cut a green one of the tops. And it will take away some of that white frame while we're at it. Yee. Doesn't want me to pick it up. Now, it's starting to get a bit dry. Instead of putting more ink on it, like our stamps, you can huff on it and the ink will re-wet. So you can get a little bit more without actually adding more ink to it. That just keeps it nice and subtle. Okay, so you're not having to constantly dauber it into your ink there. Every time you put it in the ink, you're adding more color, but you don't necessarily need more color each time. All right, so I will need to go along and I will need to cut out some more of these. I think I'll need to cut another red one. Okay, because we'll do that fairly evenly. All right, should we put some, we'll put a little bit around here, but what I'm going to do with these guys, actually I'll do it before I do that. Somewhere here it is. Winter Stella. So before we colour these in too much, let's bling them up a bit. Okay? Just because we can. Doesn't need to be neat, just needs to be sparkly. And because the lines sort of give us a bit of a guide to how puffy our cotton woolly, our bit of, if it was material, it'd be fabric would be, but how the top of our Santa stockings are, then that way, then now we can put the color on it. If I'd done too much of that color first, I would have pushed it all around with my Winter Stella, and my Winter Stella would have ended up brown and scungy, and then it would look like they were dirty stockings. All right. Okay. All right. So that's all those bits. Do we need a little bit on here? We do, don't we? The only bits I haven't done it on. Oh, see what I mean? You get a bit too much. The only bits I haven't roughed up so far are the little bits that go around our on the bottom of our stocking. Just gives it a little bit of shadow. Okay. Now, let's close that up. The other thing that we can do, and you can use your bone folder or you can use the end of your brush works just as well. But with your bone folder, if you're using the rounded end, this is our berries, and I'm just going to make them a little bit rounder. Okay. So that makes the berries just that little bit, they look, almost gives them a 3D effect. You can send them through your embossing tool if you want, but they just need a little bit of oomph. All right. You could do the same with your stockings, just to give them a little bit of roundness to them. We're going to stick them on with dimensionals anyway, but that just changes the shape of them a little bit. All right. See what I mean? Okay. And now we've cut out 4 stockings, but we're going to end up with 5 on here because of the way that I'm going to do it. It's just a matter of deciding which one I'm going to chop. Okay. So that's going to go on there. Now, we've got a Mary here, we've got a lava cheer, a stocking. So we've got a few, our main words that are going in this direction are down this end. Okay, so I'm actually going to cover some of them up with this. That is going to sit over the top of that. So we can actually do that. Oops, got heaps of dimensionals everywhere. This will need 2 dimensionals. Okay, that's one stocking. This stocking is going to have the red one on it, and I will have to cut out another red one. Okay, and I'm going to put these both on here. I'm going to put them all on so that way then I can work out who's going where. Oops, didn't do that very good. Okay. And that one's going to go on here. That didn't come off. Are we all ready for Christmas? Sharon, are you ready for Christmas? I was talking to Cheryl earlier. I know how close she is to being ready. I'm nowhere near ready. Okay, need my berries there. Where did my leaves go? Okay, it's holly leaves, berries. Now I'm going to put, I would normally put, and I will do it actually, the glue on that side. Now, you'll notice because there's a little bit of a white edge around our cutout, you actually want to keep that. So when you put your stocking pieces on, this is a new glue, it's going everywhere, just be aware that you keep your white edge because these bits go on the stamped bit. Otherwise it looks weird. And I got a bit carried away there with my glue. And yes, you can hear me wiping that on my pants. How cute are they? Let's do a red one. Nowhere near ready. Oh, I'm so feeling better. I would normally have my house decorated and everything by now, but I just haven't had time to scratch. So, and it's not, the next couple of weeks aren't going to get any better, I'm afraid. Toes. So, I haven't even done half the Christmas cards I need to do. And I've done a little bit of shopping today. We have this really cool thing that we do. And I think I found what we're going to do for it. Tony's family have a tradition, and I can't remember if I've ever told anybody before. Lol, if you're watching, you know what it is. We have a thing called a brown sandal present, which sounds weird, but because, you know, everyone will go, what? So we have a traditional thing that we do with Tony's family, and whoever's hosting the Christmas event that year has to provide our aptly named brown sandal present. Tony's grandfather, one year, when Tony was only young, and so it was well and truly before I came on the scene. He went to an auction and he bought a box, and that was everybody's Christmas present. So everybody's Christmas present was whatever was in that box. Well, it turned out it was a pair of size 8 brown sandals, numerous pairs of size 8 brown sandals. So every single person in the family got a pair of size 8 brown sandals. Now, didn't matter if you're male or female, and it didn't matter if you had size 8 feet or not, but you got a pair of size 8 brown sandals. So now what we do in honor of Tony's grandfather, or because it's actually quite fun, we give the person who's hosting gets to do the brown sandal present. Now, there are a couple of things that happen with the brown sandal present. It has to be cheap, which is really hard to find these days, let me tell you. It has to be cheap, and it has to be everybody gets exactly the same present. So it doesn't matter if it's going to suit one person or none. Because I don't like wastage, I try not to increase landfill if I can help it. I'm still quite conscious of what items that we would give for the brown sandal present. You know, one year I'm not telling you what we've got this year. I might tell you in the new year. But I went to Spotlight today and it was like, oh, wow, I've got to have that. I just need to cut out one more of those little red tops for that guy. So I've got the brown sandal presents. I bought 20 of them. And because anybody that's here gets the gift. So if anyone that's here for that with us for that event, no matter what your age, you get a gift. If someone drops in and we're handing out gifts and that we're doing the brown sandal present, even those people that drop in and get it, they get it too. So this year, I'm not sure how many people are coming. So I bought 20 of them. That we probably will only end up with about 14 or 15. So I might have some leftovers for everyone next year. But no. But then we get creative as to what we're going to do with it. So one year I got everybody socks. So that was our family brown sandal present. Everybody got a pair of Christmas socks. I liked that idea because to me socks are practical. Everybody needs socks. They could put them away, use them the next year. They could just wear them. Didn't matter if they were Christmas socks. One of my daughters was obsessed with socks at the time. I think she ended up with quite a few different pairs after that event. And it was lots of fun. Another year, I used my crafting skills and everybody got white Tic Tacs. And those Tic Tacs had a label on them, and we had snowmen at the time. And I don't know if you've noticed, I don't usually do cards with snow on them because we're in Australia and we have a summer Christmas, so I don't usually send out cards with snow on them. I don't usually make cards with snow, so it's very unusual for me to do it. But what I did was I found a poem that said, "You've been naughty, so here's the scoop. All you're getting is snowman poop." Whoopsie. And everybody got those as their Christmas present that year for the brown sandal, and it was snowman poop, otherwise known as Tic Tacs. So that was lots of fun. My sister-in-law, it was their turn the year of the COVID, last year that COVID took us out, and so she had a really good one set up to do, but couldn't do it. So we had, I don't know what I so want to put you. So she had this really good one set up. So she actually saved it, and we all got it last year, and it was a survival kit, a COVID survival kit, and it had what's it called? It had toilet paper, a rubber ducky to keep us sane. It had it was just lots of fun. It had a pencil for us to write notes. It just had, like, there's a snack. Yeah, there was lots of little fun things in it. So I've got a few words hanging out there. All right, so, and I'm going to chop bits off, as you can imagine. Okay, so you can come down a bit. All right, so essentially that's what I'm doing. but I like to always put some fibre on it. Oh, how do I want to do it? Okay, not sure. Let's just go ahead with what I'm doing and then we'll work it all out. So I'm just going to put these on. A bit willy-nilly. But yeah, so that's the tradition of our brown sandal present. Now, I have been known to, I usually craft it up a bit, but I haven't this time. So this time I've got to work out, I might make boxes or something like that for the gift to go in because it's going to be an unusual shape otherwise. Okay. Now, because I've done those, I've glued them on. Okay, so somewhere here on my table, I have some snips. So I'm just going to snip these bits off because we don't need them on here, but that's going to work to my advantage so that I didn't have to do more stockings. Okay, because now essentially I've got 2 more stockings. All right, if I want to use them, and it wouldn't be the first time. Yep, so we'll put this one here up there on that corner. The thing is, if you're doing this, you have to be aware that you don't, see how I've got this bit here? You don't want to be sticking that on there. You want to be putting it so that it's off that edge. Okay? So that it doesn't look like you stamped in a dodgy fashion. All right, so we'll just let them dry. Okay? Now, the other thing that we're going to do is we need a sentiment. So on this piece here, all right, there is nothing that we can, oh, there's a tag. Where's the dies gone? Do I want you to help me with the boxes, Cheryl? How many boxes are we doing? I've got to make 20, love. There's a going joke with that. Oh boy. Does everybody get their spammy messages these days? This here is the tag. That's not going to work for me, that whole tag. It's also, it cuts out the envelope, but no one said it has to be that big. Okay, so let's see if I can tweak something here. Okay, where is, I pulled out my sentiment, didn't I? I'm sure I pulled out the sentiment. Or did I leave it? I left it because we're going to use the other words. Well, I've changed my mind. We're going to use this one. Okay. All right, so let's see what we've got here. I needed more blocks. So this is sending cheer. It fits quite nicely in there, but then that makes this tag way too big. You can cut them down, but it could potentially look funny there with that. All right, it doesn't fit on that. It will fit on the stocking quite nicely, but I'm thinking that, what am I thinking? I don't know what I'm thinking. I'm thinking I just need to cut a bit out for it and have it like a banner. All right, let's do that. So I was telling the girls on the weekend, there's a couple of different ways you can do this. Need my mat again. If you've got a straight line, it makes it easier to cut with using your trimmer. That makes it easier. Once you've stamped something, it makes it easier to cut it out. So I'm going to use the evening, where's my shaded spruce? I'm going to use my shaded spruce. This would also look good embossed in a white on either the shaded spruce or the real red. So there's my sending cheer. It's upside down. I'm still chuckling to myself, Cheryl, about you wanting to help me with my boxes. All right. Because I've stamped, because of where I've stamped that now, because our trimmer's so good. Says she who loves this trimmer, so you know, I'm a bit biased. Because our trimmer's so good, and you can cut really quite thin little strips with it, because it's got these two extra edges up here. Now, I think I showed you last week. I'll just give it a bit of a clean because I did notice that my basic white wouldn't cut properly before. And look at all that that's come out of there. All right. The other thing that works is a nail brush. Oh, for those ladies in Australia, you did know, I'm just checking because nobody on the weekend knew, you can actually buy an arm, it's in the catalogue, it's $8, that's got all of the centimetres on it rather than having inches on it. So if you are a centimetre fan like most Australians are, you can get this arm with your centimetres on it. So, just saying, as they say. All right, so sending cheer, I'm thinking I might do it about there. Yes, a sticky note does work. If you want to flag it, you can. Cut into the middle and then go from the outsides to that middle point, like so. Okay. It just seems to give you a neater cut. Okay, and we'll just put some of our what do we use this time? Pecan pie on it around here. And you'll see I didn't even put that back in the ink then. I just huffed on it and added the moisture, which will then make it so that it's wet again. Okay, so we need to cut these bits off now. I just waited for them to dry, especially this piece, because, yeah, that's what I thought was going to happen. There's actually a dimensional under there, like just the corner of it, but still it was under there. And I thought that bit was going to drop off, but that's okay. So now that's our front piece. It's layered up a bit because of our layers there with that. Looks pretty smick. I'm going to put my sending cheer here. I do need some trim. Okay, so I'm thinking the twine would work really well, but I don't have it over here with me. So I'm thinking just doing a bow, and quite a messy big bow, because if I stick that bow underneath it, I actually don't like it. That does nothing for me. Okay, nope, that doesn't work. I'll just smooth out my ribbon. But, all right, let's try something else. Let's try a little bow. And all right, we'll have a little bow just for a little bit of bling. Flag off my edges. These scissors are not my ribbon scissors, but careful not to cut your fingers. Oh, good, no blood, because they hurt. They're really sharp. There are paper snips and they're really, really sharp. But that will do it for me. What do you reckon? That's better. Okay, so we're sending cheer. And we're sending cheer on dimensionals. So my dimensionals know they want to come off two at a time. So we're going to put that there like that. Nothing's glued down yet. Yeah. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not loving this ribbon at the minute. What do you reckon? I'm seriously not loving it. Because I think it's a bit too big and bulky, but anyway. What do you reckon? It doesn't need it, does it? No. I want it, but it doesn't need it. Okay, doesn't need it. I agree with you, Chris. All right, so let's stick it together. Bite the bullet cord, stick it together. A little bit of adhesive. Ooh, got it everywhere. Make sure my card's opening in the right direction. Okay, I don't know how many times I've done that recently. Just stick it nice and flat. Our sending cheer is going to go here, or it could go on that one there. No, it's got to go over here. And I think that because this is a full one here, it's going to get that. That's better. What do you reckon about that? Where am I adding another stocking to, Sharon? Down here? Probably needs a set of toes over here, but yeah, I don't think I can fit another stocking on there. I think I'm all stocking to bit full. Oops. And I'm lining that up with the edge. And then I'll glue these pieces here on. So, oh, I got a bit excessive there. Got a bit carried away with the glue. I was going to put those little berries on with a dimensional, but there was enough glue to sink a battleship just then. There, I did have, where did I put the dodgy? I don't know where I put the dodgy holly leaves. Otherwise, I could have added them. Ah, put the bow on another stocking. Like so. I think it's too big. It needs to be teeny tiny. What do you reckon? This tiny little bow? Oh, now my fingers are too fat. I'm playing with it. I'm feeling, oh, yep, that's going to work. But it needs a glue dot because I can't stick it on with anything else. Wonderful idea, Sharon. Thank you. Too much? I think it looks all right. You know, like? I like it. Oh, hold on. What about on that stocking? Looks like I've just stuck it there for the sake of sticking it. I'm not a fan, Sharon. Let's see if I can prise it off. How sticky are these glue dots? But if we stick it on here, like it's holding it up. Oop. Yeah, no, I won't be making 50 of them. No, this one, it might come to your house. Oh, we'll see. Okay, so now I need to stamp some stockings for the inside. Or I did notice, I don't know if you saw some of the other stamps. There's all these little stars which are the same as the inside of the outside of the stockings. So instead of sticking a stocking on the inside, I'm going to stick little stars. Now they're only 2 stars. All right. No, I'm making it. I've got a packet of designer series paper that I'm going to make a bucket load of cards out of. Okay, so because it's in red, and look, I could stick some paper in on this one, but I won't. All right. Okay, so Tony's home. And he's going to go, why didn't you answer the phone when I rang? And then he'll realise what I'm up to. Now, this does mean that I haven't got my mat under me, but because it's such a little stamp, it's actually not being too painful. It's doing what it needs to do anyway. Okay. There we go. What do you reckon? But I am going to stick on the envelope, I'm going to put stocking because I can. Now, because it's going to be one stocking, I'm going to do a red and a green stocking. Here he is. But I'll do this half first. And then I'll come in with my, somewhere there's my green ink. And I'll do my green because it's the front of the envelope. Now, some of the ladies were saying at class the other day that there's some countries that you can't stamp, they won't accept images that have got, or cards that have got stamped images on them. That looks weird, but anyway, we know what it is. We know it's a stocking.
You do it too low.
I did do it too low, but that's all right. Okay. I know where it's going. It's all good. Don't be Sharon. I could do a stocking on the back to match so it doesn't look so silly.
I think you need a cup of tea.
I think I need a cup of tea too. Okay. And then pull out the red again. And we'll put this bit on the top. Should have done it this way before because it was easier to see that way. Okay. All right. Should we let him run the kettle? What do you reckon? I think so. If he gets too noisy, we'll complain, won't we? But we're almost finished. So I'm thinking that that looks pretty good, but we've got to put our inside in. So today's lesson, let's recap a bit. The Sending Cheer bundle is 40%. The two separate parts of the bundle are 40% off each. So you'll save more by buying them separately than you will if you buy them as a bundle. Okay, so keep that in mind. You can add discounted items to your kit. And again, that means you're saving twice. So keep that in mind. There's heaps of last chance items still available. A couple of things that have sold out that I won't be returning, like the stars from the Starry Night bundle, those sorts of things. If it's in the store, you can still get it. Yes, there are people on the naughty table. I don't think we did too bad with our comparison. What do you reckon? So use your catalogs as a guide for what you're going to do. Use your catalogs to, I don't know, inspire you is probably the correct word that I want to use. And most of all, have fun. So get them out, get them inky. Thanks for that, Chris. I really appreciate that. Get your stamp sets out, get them inky, make your cards, and look, use your catalogue to your advantage is what I'd like to say. Okay, so you can actually make a very nice card. You can make it so that it's not as, you can tiz it up or you can tiz it down, for want of a better way of putting it. And yeah, don't forget you've got your daubers so that you can blend around the edges. Anyone's got any questions? Anyone wants to ask anything, pop it in the comments. Oh, thanks, Sharon. I love my version too. And then, yeah, go for it. But if you're watching on my YouTube, please hit the subscribe button and I will see you all next week. And some of you ladies I'll actually see on the weekend. Look forward to it. Catch you later.